Hello everyone, Eric here, and welcome to my computational science video tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be looking at operators in Matlab. If you look at my previous videos, we've looked at Python and C++, and now to finish the series, we're going to be looking at Matlab. Now in Matlab, remember, we end our statements with a semicolon to suppress the output. So we're defining variables x, y, and z, and we're not printing that to the screen. Matlab is very straightforward: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Those basically follow the general mathematical statements we expect. The plus sign for addition, minus for subtraction, the asterisk for multiplication, and the / for division. Now in MATLAB, everything by default is a floating point number. So if we want to do integer division, we have to define our numbers as integers or convert them to integers. We can do that with a command like int64, or we can use int32, and this is just determining whether or not our integer is 64 or 32 bits. Depending on the machine you're running on, you may have a preference for one or the other. Most machines today are 64 bits, so int64 is probably the default. Lastly, for the remainder operator, we use mod, and we just enter mod x, comma y. Now in MATLAB, it will do floating point mod and integer mod. Here I'm just showing you integers for the sake of casting, but we will get the same result if we just say mod x, comma y. So if you define your numbers as whole numbers, this should work out properly. If you want to be absolutely certain, you can just cast them to an int. Now I'm going to run this program very quickly just to show you how it works. This is in a little program script I have. And when we run the program, I want to point out something very interesting that happens with strings. Now we can define a string by saying s equals and then putting the string in quotes, and ss equals the second string, and we want to add these together. Now something interesting happens when we add two strings together. Let's see if I can scroll through my output. Actually, I'm just gonna say display, this is string addition, and when we run this, we can go find where I wrote that. Just try to find the string addition in the history. Alright, so you can see when we do the string addition, we get an array of numbers. When we're adding strings, we're actually adding the strings element by element, and we're getting numbers as outputs, and that's because every character in a string is encoded as a number in MATLAB. So if we do string addition, we're literally adding the different letters together. If we want to append and concatenate the strings, just like we did in Python and C++, we have to use a string concatenation function, which is strcat, strcat. The interesting thing about strcat is it removes all of the white space. So you can see I actually added white space to the end of s. I did that so the two would add. The two arrays had to be the same size. And the string concatenation will remove that. And to put an empty space in the middle, we have to put this little bit here where you can see I have a curly brace, and then a single quote, space, single quote, and then the closing curly brace. And this is going to kind of force it to put that empty space into the string. So where I wanted to say this is a string to print, if I take away that curly brace and we run it, then when we go up to see where it says this is a string to print, you can see there's no space between a and the word string. So by putting that back, we get the space we desire. Now the Boolean operators in MATLAB are the same, or almost the same, as C++ and Python. Less than, or equal to, these are normal. Greater than, or equal to, once again normal, just the standard symbols. Now if we want to check equality, we use a double equal. Remember, a single equal is an assignment operator. Now for not equal, this is where it's different. Let's see. Different from C++ and Python. Now for not equal, it uses the tilde, the little squiggly line. So a squiggly line followed by an equal sign, that means not equal. And this is where MATLAB starts to sort of differ in syntax. But it's a small enough difference where it's not a big deal. Now for and or, MATLAB uses the same syntax of C++ of the double and, or the double vertical line to represent and or. So these are the basic operators we have in MATLAB. They're very similar to what we've seen in Python and C++. So I just wanted to create this quick video to help you understand those. Thank you for watching, and keep on coding.